Hello everyone, I'm back and I figured since summer was coming to an end and fall is right around the corner that I would do my fall movie preview. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from September to December and talk about movies that I think are the most hype worthy, maybe ones that you haven't heard of, or ones that I am really excited to watch when they come out. So I'm going to start in September, and I have three movies that I think are really going to do well. The first one is It, and if anyone knows me, I love horror movies. I am reading the book It right now, and it is being directed by Andre Muschietti. Muschietti? I don't know how to say his last name, I'm sorry. Um, and it stars Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. And that comes out September 8th. So that is the first one in September that I wanted to talk about. The second one comes out September 15th, and that is Mother, and that is directed by Darren Aronofsky. Now, he has made some of my favorite movies. I loved Black Swan, and I love Rec Room of a Dream, and this one stars Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem, and not much has really been put out about the movie. I've seen the trailer where it's dark and it's just voices, and you can kind of hear Jennifer Lawrence screaming. But it's really intriguing to me just because I really like the director's other films, and the premise is just so mysterious that it just seems super interesting. And there's a poster, I'll put it right here. There's a poster of Jennifer Lawrence, and she's taking out her heart and holding it out, and it's just like, what is this movie about? It's like shrouded in mystery to me. So that was Mother, that comes out September 15th. And then the last movie in September I wanted to talk about was Kingsman, The Golden Circle, and that is directed by Matthew Vaughn, and it stars Taron Egerton and Colin Firth. And I loved the first Kingsman so much. It kind of came out of nowhere, really. There's absolutely no hype about it. It just kind of came out and everyone was talking about it. And it was just oh, I can't talk. It was such a well done action movie, and I usually don't gravitate towards the action genre, but I really, really, really liked that movie. I thought it was so innovative and so well done. So Kingsman, Golden Circle looks so good. And then, so that was September. Let's move on into Halloween season with October. And there is a lot of Halloween-centric movies coming out in October. The first one I want to talk about is one of my favorite horror franchises, maybe my favorite horror franchise, and that is Cult of Chucky. And that is directed by Don Mancini, and it stars Fiona Dourif, Brad Dourif, and Jennifer Tilly, and that comes out October 3rd. If you are new to my channel, I did a trailer breakdown, and I did a trailer reaction if you wanted to go watch that. Yeah, I don't want to get too involved into each movie because I have a lot on here. So I'm going to move on to the next one, and that is Blade Runner 2049. I haven't seen the original Blade Runner. I know it's kind of terrible. Not really up my alley. I'm not a huge sci-fi person. But the new one looks kind of interesting. The effects in it look really good. Every time I see the trailer, I'm like blown away by the effects. That has Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling and Jared Leto, and that comes out October 6th. The next movie is kind of a horror thriller. It's called The Snowman, and it's directed by Tomas Alfredson. It stars Rebecca Ferguson and Michael Fassbender. And at first, before I even watched the movie, I saw like a little screenshot of the snowman. I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be so cheesy. But I watched it and it actually looks really, really interesting. It's like a mystery, thriller, horror. It's a snowman killer, and they don't know who's killing these people, but they find body parts of his victims on snowmen, and it just looks really, really interesting. And that comes out October 20th. So, let's see. Oh, and then a movie I'm probably not going to see because I'm not a huge Saw fan is Jigsaw. I was never a huge fan of the whole Saw franchise. I don't really like torture porn. Um, I did kind of like the first one. Like if the first one's on TV, I'll watch it, but it's not my favorite. But I figured I put it on this list because it is such a big franchise. Um, and that the directors are Michael and Peter Spierig, and Tobin Bell will be back to play Jigsaw, and that comes out October 27th. And then now we roll into November. November actually has a ton of movies coming out, and I mean, obviously, because it's the holiday season, a lot of people are seeing movies around then. There's a lot on here that I am not planning on seeing, but I figured I'd put them on the list anyway because I'm sure a lot of people want to go see these things. The first one I'm not going to go see. I want to preface this by saying I'm not a big superhero comic book movie person. I'm not, it just doesn't like tickle my fancy. Like it's not my cup of tea. So the first movie is Thor Ragnarok, and it did have a really cool trailer, but I didn't really like the other two Thors. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of the character, and I don't know. I really don't think I'm gonna go see this one, but it could be good. It comes out November 3rd. And then the next one, another one I'm not going to see, Bad Moms Christmas. I saw the first Bad Moms, and I thought it was decent. I didn't really think it was too funny, but still worth mentioning. I cannot talk in this video. Still worth mentioning. That comes out November 3rd. And then the next one is actually the one I'm looking forward to most in November, and that is Murder on the Orient Express, and it is directed by Kenneth Branagh, and it also stars Kenneth Branagh. And it has a bunch of, the whole cast is star-studded. Michelle Pfeiffer, Johnny Depp, Daisy Ridley from Star Wars, and who else? Penelope Cruz. I mean, it just goes on and on. And I love murder mysteries, so this is right up my alley. I've never read the book. I've never seen the original movie. So I'm going into this completely not knowing what's going to happen, and I'm really excited about it. That comes out November 10th. And then another movie I probably won't be going to see, and I've explained why, Justice League, November 17th is coming out. Again, not my cup of tea. I liked Wonder Woman, fine. I'm just not a big superhero movie kind of person. But I'm sure it'll make a ton of money, and yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, next movie is Call Me By Your Name, and it stars Armie Hammer and Timothy Chalamet, I think is how you pronounce his name. And it's an indie movie, and it made all the festival rounds, and it got so much hype, and it has hype for Oscar, to win Oscars. And I just recently watched the trailer for it, and it actually looks really interesting. It looks really good. I can see where all the hype is coming from just from the trailer. and that comes out November 24th. So that ends November, and then we move into December. And there's actually only 2 movies that I wrote down to mention. The first one is called The Shape of Water, and that is the new Guillermo del Toro movie. And I usually love all of his movies. One of my favorite movies is The Orphanage, and I believe he produced that. Yeah, I really like that, and I like Pan's Labyrinth a lot. So that movie is just about Sally Hawkins, and there's some sort of experimental water creature, and did I say that right? Experiment. They're doing experiments, and there is some sort of like water creature, and she befriends it, and almost it kind of seems like she's falling in love with it. And she's also mute, so she can't speak. And it just looks really, really good. Michael Shannon is also in it as a scientist, I believe, and that comes out December 8th. And then the last movie, which is my most hyped, and I'm sure most everyone is hyped about this, Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's directed by Rian Johnson, and not much explaining needs to go into this one because I'm sure everyone knows all about it. Huge Star Wars fan, have been forever. Huge Carrie Fisher fan, really sad it's going to be her last movie. So we'll definitely be seeing that opening day. That comes out December 15th. And that ends my fall movie preview. Kind of went into winter a little bit with December. But sorry, I've been like scrolling through my little notebook, so I like remembered everything. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I only went on for like 12 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I'm hoping to have more videos up within the week, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Tell me in the comments which movie of the ones I mentioned are you most looking forward to, and if I didn't mention one that's coming out that you really are interested in seeing or excited to see, mention it down below, and I'm just curious to see what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching again, and see you next time. Bye!